Hello, everybody, and welcome to your reading. We are going to get some deep soul messages about your spiritual purpose and mission for this life journey. There are 3 different messengers to choose from. Look at them and decide which one is really calling to you, which one you resonate the most with. I will start with the first messenger. There are timestamps listed for all of them below. Hello to everybody who chose the first messenger. So your spiritual purpose and your spiritual mission are 2 different things, and we're going to explore both in this reading. But let's start with the card that comes along with the first messenger to understand the path of both. All right, so you guys have rising to Pleiadian frequencies, sacred bond, healing clears space for higher energies. So you are naturally working with some higher energies this life journey for your own spiritual growth and evolution, which is your spiritual purpose. And you are working with these frequencies for your spiritual mission, which is the energy that you bring to others. And this could be just the people around you, the people that you will connect with and meet throughout your life journey, or this could be having a much larger platform extending to a lot of people that you'll never physically meet in person, but your message, your ideas are very impactful. All right, so apply it how it fits for you personally, but there is connection to the Pleiadian energy for you this life journey, again for your own spiritual evolution, along with working in conjunction with spirit in what you are bringing and doing and giving for others. So I want to read you just a little snippet about this card so that you can understand. And it says, Pleiadian beings of light are reaching out to connect to us in a space of love and truth, to make themselves known again, enter into their vibration, to be lifted up to a higher reality, a dimension of peace and healing. You have drawn this card because you are ready to be nurtured by the activation of your cosmic remembrance. You have the ability to access your Akashic records so that you can remember your natural affinity with the Pleiadians from times before their information became suppressed. All right, so you have had life journey previously and working in conjunction with the Pleiadian energy. Okay, so this means that you are very spiritual, you're very high vibrational, you're intuitive, you're empathic, you're sensitive to others, you're sensitive to energies, okay? And, you know, you may even be somebody, so like for me, before these wars recently broke out in the world, I was actually having dreams about it, okay? But it was happening where I live opposed to where it's actually taking place in the world. And so you may get insight like that about different things, different events, and the wars are not the only thing, but you may get dreams and feelings about different things that are going to take place or happen in the world, and you may not be able to make sense of it, but later on as things unfold you'll be like, oh, okay, that's why I was dreaming that, or that's why I was feeling that. So you're not just sensitive to what others are feeling, experiencing, and going through. You're connected to Mother Earth Gaia. So different things that are about to happen, whether natural occurrences or man-made, you may dream about, or you may, before it happens, like, oh, I just have this really bad headache, or I'm overwhelmed, or I just have this anxious feeling or this bad feeling, but I can't put my finger on it. You're picking up on something that's, you know, taking place somewhere in the world. And oftentimes when we get that bad feeling, we think it's something that's happening to us, or maybe somebody that we are deeply connected to. But for you guys, you go way beyond the scope of just your inner circle. You're picking up on stuff all over the world. And that's something that Spirit wants you to know about you and your spiritual gifts and your spiritual abilities. Okay, so this is the main energy that you are working with this life journey for your own personal spiritual growth and evolution, your soul purpose. That is your soul purpose, is what this life is going to do and evolve inside of you. And you are working with much higher energy for your spiritual mission. So many of you that were drawn into this first card are light workers. All right, so let's pull some more cards so we can get more specific about what you are working with for your soul evolution, as well as your spiritual gifts that, you know, flow into your spiritual mission for this lifetime. Okay, so we have negative ties. We'll pull these down while I'm going through them, and then we'll push them up. False prophet. Atonement. Protected. Triggers. And consciousness. Okay, so right away, many of you that were drawn into this first pile were brought up with a very specific set of beliefs. So this could be that your family followed a very specific religion, okay? Or it could even have played out being born in a completely like atheist family, okay? So spiritual beliefs, you know, could be Christianity, Mormonism, Buddhist, Hindu. You know, there's infinite religions out there. And so some of you that were drawn into this first pile, like you were brought up in a very rigid belief system. And part of, you know, your spiritual purpose is to break free of that mold, to overcome that programming and find the truth. And then your spiritual mission is to help others with that process. Okay, and if it wasn't like you were brought up in a very rigid religious belief, and there's something about like your childhood that you have to overcome, because pile one, there is something that you go through and you overcome that programming later in life. And it's through that journey and that overcoming in the way that you help others that directs your spiritual mission, okay? Spiritual purpose is you, yourself, what you're here for. Spiritual mission is what you're here to do to help assist and give to others. And so for you guys, it is something that you experience. And, you know, religion or childhood really jumps out at me. It doesn't exclude other possibilities, but whatever this is, it does feel challenging, and that you overcome the programming of that deep challenge, because we have negative ties, false prophet, and atonement. So this is really hard energy. This could have been some of you, it's like you had religious fanatical parents, and maybe even you could have like grown up in a cult or felt like you did, okay? And obviously that's not going to apply to all of you, but some of you, I feel that there is something that has happened here in life, especially like your younger years from birth to like 20 years old, all right? Something has happened here, and you have to overcome this experience. This is part of your spiritual purpose for you, for your own evolution. And it's not easy, but what you've gone through and the way you overcome is going to be very, very inspirational to others. Not only that, it gives you such wisdom and insight to share with others, to give them advice. Some of you could have just had a really hard upbringing. Some of you are rags to riches stories. But you do have a very strong guardian angel that protects you. And see, this is how I know you've got to overwrite. It's because you got triggers right here. So this is not easy. whatever this represents for you specifically. But you do overcome, because look, consciousness expands. All this experience and pain and struggle transforms into strength and wisdom. And I do also feel for path 1 here, or pile 1 I should say, you're very, very empathic. Deeper than you realize. And you know what? I will say this. Every deeply spiritual person or spiritually gifted person I have ever come across, it's like all of them have had either a really hard childhood or something crazy that happened in adulthood. And I've never fully understood that. The only thing I have come to is, you know, for even from my own personal experience, is walking the footsteps of that energy is truly the only way to understand that and relate to others. And if you're here to raise vibration of energy, which I see that you are, you have to understand the path that people are walking, that people are experiencing on this earth plane. You have to understand the trenches, because how could you make it better, right? So I see that for you guys, as being in the trenches is for the full understanding of it, because it's only through the full understanding of it that you can transmute that energy, that you can change that energy. All right, so independence. This is something that you were working with in past life, and as well as into this life, which, you know, it says independence and warrior, and this is Aries energy. So you've been going through certain things, and it is truly to carve out a brand new path. Aries is first house, self, identity, projection, how others see you, being strong within self, being empowered within self, being a leader, not afraid of taking risks, of making change, of doing things differently. So you've been at this more than just this lifetime, okay? And so this energy is being an island and self-sufficient, asserting without thought of others, having an it's all about me attitude, expecting others to know as you do, indifference to others' perceptions, taking risks, being angry and resistant, reacting impulsively. So there's positive and negative energies here, but these are energies that you are working with, okay? And it's truly carving out a new path. All right, so there's more past life energy coming in. So, you know, the Pleiades, you've been working with them for a long time. You could actually be consciousness from the Pleiades, okay? Apply it how it fits for you. Just not everybody's, you know, you don't have to be of the Pleiades to work with the Pleiades energy, all right? But some of you know that you are. So if you know that you are, you are. If you're like, that's very foreign to me, that's fine. It's most likely you're just working with those Pleiadian energies this lifetime, but not just this lifetime, because we got past life and then past life again. This goes back multiple lifetimes. So you've been walking more of a spiritually based path for a few lifetimes now. So we have recognition and royal king. Insistence on having your way, stubborn assertion of will, rocking the boat to be in charge, attraction to risk-taking, conforming instead of following heart, overreacting with pride due to fear, tendencies to melodrama. Now, some of this could apply to you, and some of this could apply to the energies that you are working to transmute, to transform on the earth plane this life journey. All right, so now you've got a soul path of the 8th house, which 8th house is real intense energy. Okay, and so this is for the positive and the negative, power and authority, executive ability, work for a cause, exercise sound judgment, workaholic, overly ambitious and materialistic, mismanage money or people, unscrupulous and abusive. So during this life journey, you are working a lot with these two sets of energies for the positive and the negative. But 8th house is the house of major transformation. So I know part of your soul mission, this life journey, is to transmute a lot of negative, lower vibrational energy, bring truth where there is falsity, man-made falsity. Okay, you see the spiritual truth of things. And look at this, more past life with spirituality, and you got some Pisces energy going on. This is about divine discipline. So you're working with strong fire and strong water this lifetime. Taking everything too personally, eluding commitment, leading to inaction, neglecting to plan and giving up, being unclear, confused, and vague, withdrawing through doubt and inadequacy, escaping reality through addictions, going to extreme measures. Okay, so again, these energies could personally impact you and what you've dealt with, or you are here to help transmute these energies. But remember, in order to transmute, you've got to have a personal understanding. And so some of the struggle and the challenge that you've gone through here has been to bring you in to that personal understanding so that you can transmute that energy. And fire is the action, all right? Water is the emotion. So you have a lot of power through your emotional body, your emotional energy, and putting that behind the actions that you take, all right? You have a high level consciousness that you bring with you into this lifetime. You are highly protected. You're helping people get out of bad situations. You're helping them see themselves, see their divinity, understand themselves, this life journey. In fact, you know, with atonement there, you could work with people who do have addictions, because that came through in these cards. You could work with people who have addictions or have made really bad choices in this life journey. You know, this energy is really strong for somebody who does social work or charity, volunteering, really trying to help make the world a better place, but more focused on the individual and the emotions in the individual and the trauma that the individual has been through. You understand, you connect, you feel them, and you care deeper than the average person, okay? But one thing that's going to be hard for you is realizing that you can't help everybody. You can't save everybody. And if somebody has absolutely no interest in helping themselves, then there is nothing you can do. And that is something that's going to be hard for you, is understanding when you need to walk away, when you need to let something go, when there is no hope in that moment. All right. And when it's beyond your control like that, that's when you have to trust the universe and trust that that person has their own guardian angel, that they're on their own path, and that spirit has them. You know, there's some people in my life, one of my daughters included, that I just, oh, my heart. But the only soothing and solace I found is the recognition that, you know, everybody's on their own life path, and I can only be a guiding light. And I can only do so much if somebody doesn't want to help themselves. And I feel that's a strong thing for you guys as well, is learning when to let go, when you've got to let go and let God. Because you do have magic and you do have the power to really help. But somebody's got to be open and willing to receive that. And if they're not, they're not. And they'll just suck you dry. they'll turn into an endless black hole, and it will just drain you. So for you guys that chose this first card, the first messenger, you have a strong soul path of working with 8th house energy, as well as Aries, Leo, and Piscean energies. So after this reading, if you don't know a whole lot about the houses of the zodiac and each individual sign, just do a little bit of research online, because these are very significant energies for you, for your soul purpose, your evolution, and your soul mission, what you give to others. And you are working with spirit and higher energy. Many of you identify as a light worker or a star seed. And the Pleiadian frequency usually shows up in Scorpio or Taurus energy. And we do have the 8th house of Scorpio right here. Okay, so that Pleiadian energy is quite strong. And you can connect to the Pleiadian realm. All right, you being who you are, you absolutely can. All right, so we're looking at your growth, your spiritual purpose, your evolution. So we got Mercury with thoughts of you, Mars upper hand, Aries I want you. Okay, so Arian energy, very strong. We got Aries here, Mars rules Aries, and then Aries has come out again, and Sagittarius, I protect you. And look at, you got that protective energy. Okay, so Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius has all come out in your reading. Aries is the waymaker. Leo is the star. Sagittarius is the wounded healer. All right, so strong fire energies, which is spiritual, the ethers, movement, action, ability to facilitate great change. That is strong in you with everything that has come out, okay? Now, Mercury coming through, that is the mind, that's learning, that's communication. You are very intelligent already, all right? Your soul is very evolved already. So I know the different things that you encounter to evolve you further, they are a bit more challenging. And it's because you're already quite an evolved soul. And certain things that you go through is for you to be able to show to somebody else, look at, I've been there and I've overcome, and this is what I've done, and you can too. Your mission, your spiritual mission, feels more about being a healer of some capacity. Okay, I already picked up on like doing volunteer work, charity work, being deeply caring, but you are a healer in some capacity, and that's part of your soul mission, is helping to heal, and that comes in really strong with Sagittarius. Also, you could be very protective over those you love, or over certain people that you feel need help, need protecting. Healing energy is very feminine, but the energy around that for you guys is very masculine. Fire is a masculine energy. In fact, in the Golden Dawn book that I'm reading about the tarot, it talks about how, the fire, the king of fire, and then the queen, so fire is father, and water, queen, is mother, and the fire and water, the mother and father, create the son through the swords, okay, and also the mother and the father create the daughter into the pentacles. And so, you know, with that fire energy, that's very, very masculine. But then you also got the feminine here, the mother and the father, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the yin, the yang. It's a beautiful balance, being very, very strong, but also as gentle and tender as one needs to be. All right, let's pull some more cards. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Guilt. I release any belief that no longer assists in my soul's growth. Okay, so we got orange and we've got yellow. And that goes back to the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Again, the sacral chakra, water chakra, divine feminine, orange, and the yellow, solar plexus chakra, divine masculine, fire chakra. That's a beautiful balance of energy, okay? You have everything within for powerful manifesting this life journey. Powerful manifesting this life journey, okay? It's important that you do meditation to ground and balance your sacral and solar plexus chakra, since that energy just keeps coming through over and over throughout your reading. And some of you could even choose a professional career path as a healer of some kind. Obviously not all of you, but man, if you did choose that or you ever thought about it, it's because of who you are at the soul. You are a caregiver. You are a healer. And you see this coming through as your soul purpose, growth, forgiveness, guilt. That goes back to either this childhood energy or something that happened in early adulthood. It was very, like, it betrayed you and your understanding in some capacity. This was hard. This was heavy. This was deep. And it's so you can transmute that energy. As you transmute that energy and you work through those energies, this life journey for yourself, you change that path for the collective of the all. Anybody else that's experienced that, you have created that pathway for them to follow energetically, and you never even have to talk or communicate with this person. As you heal and overcome, you pave a path energetically for anybody else to follow that has gone through this similar energy, this similar experiences. And also this can carry over into you verbally expressing and very personally one-on-one helping people. And you know, with such strong feminine and masculine energies, you're somebody who, you know, can handle a whole household and a job all on your own, okay? You're somebody who can be very strong, very protective, able to fix things, handle business, but you're also somebody who could be very gentle, loving, nurturing, sensitive, caring. All right, protection guardian, drop your shield. So this protection keeps coming through here, here, and now here. You are divinely protected. Start calling upon your Pleiadian family to help you know that and feel that. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. All right, yeah, so, you know, for your spiritual mission here, what you do for others, you have protection. All right, your guardians are going to give you feelings and promptings when something isn't right, when you shouldn't proceed forward. They're going to give you promptings about that. Okay, your intuition, again, so strong, and that also makes you very empathic. I know they're separate things, but I feel that with the moon. Shaman, trust in higher forces. See, shaman, healing, wise one, right? You are connected to that. You are connected to higher forces through the Pleiadian energy. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. See, you're a healer. This here, these are about your spiritual mission. Okay? And look at what's on the bottom. Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. That's that strong divine feminine energy. So intuitive, empathic, wise, connected in to higher frequencies. And I feel it's like through your connection with the Pleiadians, goes more into your spiritual mission, spiritual work, that you'll be doing this life journey. And, you know, with the moon there, that could talk about being, you know, an energy reader, doing tarot, mediumship, being psychic. Okay, so that's definitely something on the table here. But most importantly is we got this deep healing through the shaman as well as the medicine guardian. You are a healer, and it could be you do energy healing. It could be by sharing your own experiences. It could be your profession. It could be through artwork. It could be through poetry, singing. You know, it can, your healing ability can manifest in any way. It's just you. You've got to tap into yourself and figure out the way you want your healing to manifest if you don't already know, because we've picked up on that healing energy about you through this whole entire reading, and that you have higher consciousness, okay, connected to this Pleiadian energy. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, Strength, there's that Leo energy again. Nine of Cups, Page of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Okay, at any point along this journey, when you are feeling really blocked, because for you, it's like things just, boom, happen, okay, and then other times you're like, I can't get anything to happen no matter what I do. So you are a magic manifester, and again we see that with the divine feminine, divine masculine energy so strong. You are a magic manifester. When something is not happening for you, when something is not manifesting, one of two things is going on. First, it's divine intervention because you're very protected. And so if you're totally blocked, it's because your guardians know that is not the way for you. No matter how much in your mind or in your heart in that moment you're like, no, that's my way. If you are absolutely blocked, it's because it's divine intervention. And if it's not that, okay, it's because there's some deep and profound spiritual awakening that needs to take place before you can proceed forward. So when something just isn't working for you, no matter what you do, that's a time to pull your energy back, connect with your guardians, the Pleiadians. Okay, why is this path blocked? Do I need to grow spiritually, Or is this just me going into the lion's den? And you'll get your answer. So really try not to resist or get upset about things that aren't flowing. It's because there's a deeper spiritual reason, and the Pleiadians will help you understand that. You're meant to have a lot. You are magical, okay? But maybe sometimes your emotions get a little bit out of balance. You get a bit overwhelmed, okay? With energies and things like that. But you guys, you're highly spiritual, okay? You are. And you need to you need to connect with the Pleiadians much, much more. And along with looking up the energies that I already discussed in the beginning of the reading, also do a search in YouTube and put in a wake-up call for the family of light. It's about a 30-minute video, and it's a message from the Pleiadians. And I feel for some of you, it's going to be very, very activating and help you understand yourself much, much more. Okay, so I highly recommend that video as well after you are finished with this reading. But you are highly spiritual, and part of your spiritual mission is definitely to heal others. And it's something that's already very natural about you, the way that it's supposed to manifest itself. All right, so I feel that message is complete. I hope that this has helped you, and I am sending you lots of love and light. Take care. Hello to everybody who chose the second messenger. It comes with this card here, and this card is about your soul purpose, which is different than your soul mission. Okay, so let's see what this says. All right, we have the Arcturians, pure white light, DNA healing, sacred geometry. All right, so you guys definitely carry higher light codes within you, and those light codes are to help shift the current vibration of Earth. And this is higher ways of thinking, higher ways of being. So many of you that felt drawn in to the second messenger, you may feel kind of like you're the odd one out. You don't quite fit in. Or if you're fitting in, it's because you feel that you conform to that. But who you are at your core, you can tell is very different than most people around you. And some of you may even feel like you don't belong with your family. Like, was I adopted into this family? All right. There's definitely a sense of not quite knowing where you fit in, or feeling like you don't quite belong, because you're very different at the soul, and you carry with you high vibrations of light codes. Your vision, the way that you feel about things, the way that you perceive, the way that you move through life, it's very, very different than the average person. And I want to read you a little bit about this Arcturian card, just a little tiny snippet, so that you can have a better understanding of this energy. The Arcturians transform fear into love, confusion into clarity, and help dissolve the ego into light. They transmute sacred light codes from higher dimensions, which is also known as hyperspace. Their supernatural energy is beyond the understanding of the human mind, but can be felt by the heart. Arcturian messengers are on your path because you are due to receive great healing light, a bright white laser beam which shines through any darkness. They have come to settle energetic issues by clearing blocks, implants, and portals that divert from creator intention. You have drawn this card because you are healing these issues in your own energy field for someone else or for the world at large. There is a subtle cause to these issues that are not obvious to the analytical mind. And so the Arcturians invite you to look deeper. So you also have a bit of X-ray vision. You can really feel when the energy of a situation or a person is off. You're very sensitive to energies, and at times just the darkness, evilness, and destruction in the world can be very overwhelming to you. Okay, not wanting to see people hurt and suffer. But an interesting message that I'm getting is, even though you guys care and all of that, there's also this sense within you where you want people to take responsibility and accountability. Okay, so you could see somebody in a bad situation and you can quickly determine whether it's of their own making, okay, or if somebody's truly a victim of something. You can tell the difference in that energy. So even though that you care and you want to help and you want people to be happy, you definitely can distinguish between those who are really in need and the professional victims, so to speak. You see the difference there, all right? Also, you're somebody who can come up with good ideas, good plans to get things in order, to get things running properly, smoothly. Some of you may be really good at fixing different things. Like you would be, this is such an interesting vision that Spirit just gave me. Think of Gordon Ramsay, okay? Him as a person, if you look into who he is as a person, vastly different character than what you see. Very caring, very nurturing. However, in his profession, you know, think of like Kitchen Nightmares, he can go into a situation and he's like, oh my gosh, this, and this is wrong. This is what you need to do to fix it. This is how you'll be successful. This is how to properly run things. Like, that's an energy about you that I'm seeing, is where you can assess a situation and you see everything that's wrong and what needs to take place for it to run smoothly. You have a keen eye for detail, and you are here to help implement higher ways of doing things. Okay, so let's get into deeper energy. Also know that you are working with the Arcturians in some capacity. So I highly recommend you do a search to look deeper into the Arcturians, what they stand for, all of that, because you are working with that energy both for your soul purpose as well as your soul mission. All right, so consciousness, energy shift, intuition and third eye, your light, the light worker, and the empath. You know what's so interesting that I'm getting about you guys is, because I felt that empathic energy, right? But you guys, there's a maturity, a wisdom about you, because a lot of empaths, a lot of light workers can get easily sucked in to people who, you know, are going through a hard time, are really suffering. There's a need, a desire to relieve suffering, to help. That is very much in you as well, but I see a maturity about you. This is the empath that does have boundaries, okay? And this could be something that has been part of your soul purpose, is coming into that energy of an empath with boundaries, because your soul purpose is about you and the evolution of your soul. The entire purpose of your being here at this time is about you and your evolution, and your soul mission is what you add to this world. The way that you work with spirit and allow spirit to flow through you, and what you give to this world. Okay, so you are somebody who brings a lot of light to this world. Your light, the light worker. I'm not surprised that these came out, especially side by side, when we already received the message of you carrying a lot of light codes within you that you anchor into this earth plane as you move through this existence, as well as receiving new downloads from the Arcturians to anchor upgraded light codes from the original plan from when you first incarnated. Okay, you are very connected to this Arcturian collective consciousness, and you bring that light to this earth. But again, I do feel at the time you transition, you are an empath that has boundaries, and that is one of the biggest things empaths struggle with, is having boundaries and learning when to say no, and learning when it's not your responsibility to save every single person. Okay, that is a very strong lesson of an empath. And for you guys, you either come into this life mastered at that, or you master this life journey. Okay, but there is something about you guys that just feels more mature and far more empowered, deeper understanding of self than the first reading I did. So here it is. Part of your soul mission, this life journey, is to shift consciousness, and that comes with the light codes that you carry. But this is also about the way that you interact with others, that maturity, that wisdom, that higher way of seeing things. All right, it's very impactful. You sow energetic seeds of light within the consciousness of those that you come in contact with through your words, through what you say. Okay, and you know, sometimes it may seem as though you are speaking to deaf ears in some people, but just know that you have the power to seed consciousness, and you do. All right, some of you, this isn't even a conscious thing. You seed consciousness with those higher light codes that you carry by sharing conversation, by sharing your ideas, intuition and third eye. Very intuitive, very psychic, or a combination of both. You are spiritually gifted. You feel things out. You know things about people that you shouldn't know, that you shouldn't understand. You are absolutely a light worker working with the Arcturians, this life journey. And so for you and your soul purpose, which is your evolution, I feel has a lot to do with integrating into this world, into society, and pushing against those societal norms, because you do see things differently. You do feel things differently than the average person. And that goes back into, even if people love you and care about you, you always just feel like you don't quite fit in. You're different. There's something different about you, and the way that you care, and the way that you see. And it could even be a situation where somebody's being incredibly sympathetic towards somebody, and you find yourself on the exact opposite thought on the situation, where you're like, no, that person got themselves into this, and they have no interest in helping themselves out. So no, I don't care. No, I am not helping. And they may look at you, you're so cold, you know, you could care so much about XYZ, why don't you care about this? And that's seeding their consciousness, helping them seeing the difference in energy in people and intentions. All right, let's pull some more cards. Like, you know, again, back to that Gordon Ramsay, you know when a restaurant can be saved by making these different changes. And you also know when a restaurant needs to just completely shut down because it's beyond repair. Okay, that's like when it comes to different situations and people, the people that can be helped are the people that truly desire that are open to change, that are open to improvement, that are open into new concepts. All right, the people that are absolutely unwilling for change, for any sort of growth, that's the restaurants to shut down. Those are people that you cannot help, okay? And you really see the difference in energy. So you are sympathetic and empathetic and caring, but you're also so wise in that. And again, if you weren't born into this life like that, that's something that you definitely master through this life journey. All right, soul path relating. And so part of your soul journey this lifetime has a lot to do with 7th house energy, which is relationships, soulmates, soul contracts, karma, and justice. And this is a soul path of relating and harmonizing. And that goes back into you being able to really understand people's energy and what can, you know, be shifted and shaped at this time, opposed to what is very, very fixed and unchanging. So these are energies you're working with for both the positive and the negative, and this can be within yourself and your personal life, or energies that you're helping shift external to you. Seeker of knowledge, spiritual and wise, charming and idealistic, lover of peace and solitude, suspicious and reserved, argumentative and sarcastic, fault-finding, silent and inflexible, and hidden motives. Okay, so you feel I balance intuition with reason, and I meditate and research seeking wisdom. So you are a wise one, and part of your soul mission is to really seed consciousness, activate consciousness in others. And a lot of your soul growth, your soul purpose for your evolution is going to come through relationships, the struggles and challenges within them, and overcoming. All right, so a soul lesson that you're working on this lifetime is about independence and self-sufficiency. The challenge to be independent, to indulge in self-awareness, trust your intuition and impulses, stand and be courageous, support your own needs, give to others in moderation, and nurturing self. So this here talks about how even though you can understand and read the energy of others quite well, there may be a tendency to neglect yourself and your needs and your wants and conform for the happiness and satisfaction of others. So that's something that you are working at the soul level. Your soul purpose is to become very independent and feel strong and okay in that. I do feel this plays in strong where it's like, I want to fit in. I want to be like everybody else, but you're not. You are something special. All right, now we have a soul teaching. So this is what you are offering to others: spirituality, blessed healer, and it's Piscean energy. Sensitivity, deep empathy and understanding, respect, love, and compassion, following one's intuition, connect with inner spirit, understand collective consciousness, surrender to divine universal energy. This is what you bring with you. This is what you are seeding in the consciousness of others. Right here is leading them into their own soul, into their own spirituality, wiping away any dogma and programming that's been implemented within them. Okay? You really lead somebody to the truth of their soul. And that's why anybody who's just like very fixed, that's why you're like, okay, nope, pass, because I'm not going to waste my energy. It's going to be a forever pouring of energy into you because you don't want to help yourself. Like, you're really going to be able to distinguish the difference in people. All right, here's another soul teaching. So this is something that you are giving. This is what you're seeding into consciousness. Humanitarianism, universal activist. How perfect is that for you with this message? You are the universal activist. Detachment, keep moving forward, let go of unproductive patterns, release unhealthy relationships, pass on learning from past experiences, be fair and accountable in dealings, seek new and innovative experiences. And so these two cards are so perfect about you and what you bring, because here it is, where you can be deeply empathic, sensitive, caring, understanding, but also being detached enough to where you see where something just, there's hope for everyone and everything, right? But as you move on your journey, you've got to personally discern where there's hope and where something is a lost cause. And you're very good at that. And you seed that consciousness into others when it comes to themselves and the relationships around them. Okay. And I'm kind of blown away with the message that we've already received. Okay. And these cards coming out. So here is your soul mission, what you're doing, and your soul purpose is you really learning to love yourself and be comfortable in your own skin and with your beliefs and the way that you see things and the way that you perceive things, and feeling okay in that it's all right for you to be different than everybody else. And you're more of like the wise one, the sage, seeding consciousness to help others elevate. And again, with that maturity of understanding when something can be helped and when something cannot. And the biggest thing for you is your independence and your full acceptance of self. All right, let's pull some more cards. All right, so we got Sagittarius with I protect you. Planets conjunct blessed opportunities. Planet square challenging experience. And 10th house successful achievement. Okay, so you are very protected with this card here from the Arcturian collective. When you're feeling sad, when you're feeling lost, when you're fearful, call upon the Arcturian collective to help restore your internal balance of strength and knowing, okay? Because you are very connected to them. Sagittarius there is also the wounded healer. So you definitely have gone through your own traumas, your own challenging experiences, okay? But you are somebody who can turn a challenge, who can turn negativity into a positive, okay? You are a very, very strong soul, and you've got to know that about yourself. You are very strong, and you are an inspiration to others. A lot of people are not going to get you this life journey, and that's okay. They don't need to. You're just, it's almost, for you guys, it's like you come from somewhere else, okay? Like this Arcturian connection is more than just assistance and energy that you're working with this lifetime, all right? You are so wise, and it can be uncomfortable and lonely for you at times in this life journey just because you are so wise and you feel and you see and you perceive so differently. And sometimes people do tell you you're mean, you're cold, because you're not getting caught up in all that drama and emotional manipulation that a lot of others fall into. You see things as they are. You know where something can be cultivated to grow and where the soil is just gone. You see the difference. And that's about emotional maturity. That's about spiritual evolution. And so I think you're too hard on yourself at times. You are not meant to be like others. Never try to conform yourself, because you'll just be absolutely miserable and unhappy in trying to do so. You are a free spirit, if there ever was such a thing, okay? You are a free spirit. And you feel so strong and powerful to me. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. Yeah, you are here to help others evolve to the level in which you are at. That is your spiritual mission. And you know it. You feel that loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. See, and that not fitting in. And judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And see, you see that, you know that. And just because not everybody understands where you're coming from, this is Spirit really validating you so strongly. Yeah. I mean, wow. This is so synchronistic, right? And this, you have a higher purpose for this life. You know, those that you see that they have all these friends, a strong family, all this close knit, and you're like, oh, why can't I have that? Why is it not like that for me? It's because you're highly evolved, okay? And the more evolved you are, the more independent and loner you are. And that's the truth of things, okay? So you've got to know. And you've got this Starseed family with the Arcturians. Call upon them. Ask for signs. Ask for synchronicities. And they will give it to you. All right, so let's pull some more cards. Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Let nothing stand in your way of yourself and loving yourself and honoring yourself. Okay? Earth Guardian, that means that part of your mission, the way that you're seeding consciousness for higher elevation, you know, is you're protecting others in doing so. And, you know, the more your consciousness expands, you anchor the light codes of that expansion into the earth realm without even realizing it. You are a protector of this place and all who inhabit it. And that's why sometimes I get with you, like, there is so much love and tenderness, but there is this like harder edge to you. That is perfectly okay. Don't push that aspect of self away, all right? Because you see the truth of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even if others' feelings can't handle it, you are seeing the truth of things. You stay true to you. Direction Guardian, choose your path. When you're feeling lost, call upon the Arcturians. They will guide you. And you also help others find their way and find their purpose. Fire Guardian, ignite your passion. See, love who you are, no matter what. There's nothing wrong with you and sage. Be devoted and committed. And I even said I felt you as the wise old sage, right? There you are. You are just different, and your intention for that is significant, because you're not meant to just blend in and get lost in the sauce like everybody else. You're meant to be different. You're meant to stand out. You offer a different way of life, a different way of being, a different way of vibrating. And your spiritual mission is to share that with others, whether, just the people that you encounter throughout your life, or having a bigger platform. All right. It's obviously different, as this is a general reading, but either way, you are not insignificant. You are very imperative for the bigger plan of things, for the shifting of consciousness that's taking place at this time, the greater evolution of all who are here. You are a big part of that, and you're connected to the Arcturians in that. You bring the truth. You make people see the truth. You're not interested in excuses and reasons and justifications. You're not. 9 of Wands. You will give a hand up, but you don't give a hand out. All right, here is the Knight of Wands, Judgment, 5 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. See, and with this Judgment, your senses are keen. No matter what somebody is telling you, what their sob story is, always, always listen to your intuition. I mean, you got the card here and what you're seeing energetically, because you have that X-ray vision. You see the truth. You properly read the energy of others and situations. And again, part of your soul purpose, this life journey, could be awakening into those aspects of yourself. All right. Through your journey this lifetime, you are evolving, you are expanding, and it's more from the leader, teacher, mentor aspect of who you are. That's the way you're evolving. That's your soul purpose, is to be the teacher, the mentor, the guide, the wise old sage. Okay. And your mission in that is to seed consciousness into higher ways of being, to snap people out of their victimhood mentality, out of the weakness of I can't, and bring them into their truth and their personal empowerment and their strength and their determination. You are here to help people have a different judgment of themselves and their lives and what they're able and capable of accomplishing. And see, at times you have to battle to hold your ground. You're a very free spirit. A lot of people are not going to get you and understand you, and that's okay. There will be those who do, and those are your people. But those who don't, it's all right. Don't try to make them see. Don't try to make them understand. Don't explain yourself. It will just be a fruitless battle. And there will be people who viciously oppose you because you are here to be different. You represent something different. You represent change. You represent a different vibration, which can cause people to be very uncomfortable, very fearful. All right. But this is a confirmation from Spirit that you have the higher ground. You do bring wisdom. You do bring a future vision. And here, back to you being a free spirit. But you bring truth. You bring healing. You bring enlightenment. You bring these higher level light codes from the Arcturian collective, and you are a part of that collective. Connect with them, do research about them if you don't already know this, and a lot will make sense for you. All right, so those are your messages. I am sending you lots of love and light. Take care. Hello to everyone who chose the third messenger. This is the card that comes with this about your spiritual purpose as well as your spiritual mission, because they are two different things. So let's see what this card is. All right. So you guys have the Syrian emissaries. Dream for the new earth. Time now for a magical life. All right. So every one of you that was drawn into this third messenger, you are a star seed. Okay. Your consciousness comes from some other collective amongst the cosmos. Could be the Syrians, could be the Pleiadians, could be the Arcturians, could be the Lyrians. Okay. There are many, many out there. But this is a message that you are a star seed. Your sole purpose of coming to the earth plane at this time is to really assist in the shifting of the paradigms from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age. A lot of you're born into all kinds of different situations. Some of you really good, some of you really bad. Some of you, part of your starseed mission is to really transmute generational curses in the bloodline that you were born into. You guys also, you don't realize this, but you are changing the timeline. You've been in places at certain times where you've spoken to a stranger and it was your smile or it's what you said that changed the course of their life, and you don't even realize this, okay? People that you have encountered all throughout your existence, you have left an imprint on them. You have made an impact in some way, whether it's through your words, through your smile, through your advice, through your wisdom, through your deeds. It's going to play out differently and manifest differently for all of you, okay? But there are just normal things that you're doing where you're going about your day and you're literally changing the timeline because you're changing lives, okay? And it could be very subtle, as I have just explained. And for some of you, this is also in much bigger ways where you are sharing your spiritual gift with many. You are sharing your healing with many. You are sharing your channeled messages, okay? Again, different for all of you. But you are here to shift the timeline into the highest possible vibration there is. And again, it plays out in very subtle ways, and it plays out in bigger ways in other situations. So this is your confirmation of that you are a starseed. And so your spiritual purpose, which is typically about your own soul and evolution, and then your spiritual mission is what you're giving and doing for others. You guys, it's kind of synonymous for you. This is a life that's more about an awakening, a remembering of things, okay? And a lot of the different challenges that you guys go through isn't so much for your own soul growth and evolution. It's the impact to the timeline, okay? So there crappy relationships, romantic relationships that you may have been in. You don't understand that by you being with that person, it changed the timeline. There's another person that person wasn't with because they were with you, okay? And it seems so small and insignificant, but I'm telling you, by you being in that relationship, it changed the timeline. Also, you imprinted that person, and that imprint can activate this life journey or in their next lifetime. Either way, you've imprinted every single person that you have been closely bonded with of a higher frequency. And at any point in this life journey, they can activate and awaken to that. And if they don't, it carries with them into the next life journey where they will live a much more awakened spiritual life than they do this time around. All right. So your spiritual purpose and mission are synonymous with each other. And at times you may feel like this life is not your own. And, you know, you're loving, you're giving, you're caring, but there is a lot of broken people that you're going to encounter. Again, it's to help shift the timeline. It's to imprint them so that they have the ability to make a different choice. Wow. At times you feel very lonely, overlooked, taken advantage of, used, and it's because you're a whole different vibration. That vibration in which you are is what you're trying to help shift this world into. And that's why you encounter what you do. So just know that. Wow, that's some deep stuff for you guys. Okay, let's pull some more cards. The Gaia worker, triggers, ascension symptoms, your tribe, shadow beings, star beings. Okay, so the Gaia worker, there you go. And the star beings, yes. See, you come to this earth in partnership with Mother Earth Gaia. Okay, some of you have such deep connections to animals, to nature, to Mother Earth herself. Okay, understanding the impact that humanity has on Mother Earth. Being the animal whisperer, very in tune with nature, with the natural vibration of things. Why? Because you come from a much higher plane of existence and you're here to shift the paradigm on the earth plane. So that is so synchronistic right there. You are meant to trigger people, okay, with who you are. It's like for you, people are just either absolutely taken and fascinated with you or they can't stand you. It's like there's no in between. And the ones that can't seem to stand you, it's because your higher vibration triggers the lower vibrations and fear-based energies within them, which makes them very uncomfortable. Okay, so that's why you experience that dynamic in your tribe. There are very specific people on this earth plane that you will encounter that will get you, that will understand you. Why? Because they are also starseeds from somewhere else. And those are your people. They're few and far, but they exist and they're here for the same mission that you are here for, which is to help shift people out of their shadow energy. We are both the light and the shadow, but a lot of people get stuck in their shadow energy, in those lower vibrations and fear-based, living in survival mode, all right? Being very ego-driven, materialistic, selfish, all of that stuff. You're here to help shift people out of that. And also, you are the balance. The shadow and the light equally exist on the earth plane, and it has to be that way. This is the world of duality. You are part of the balance of the light. Okay, you're not here to push against the shadow, to try to eradicate the shadow. You are here to keep the balance and activate and awaken others to come to the light, to maintain that balance. And so, and you know, the people that really trigger you, just remember that you're being triggered because they operate on a very different spectrum than you do. And again, you're not here to change them, to push against them. You're here to keep that balance between the light and the dark. And so when something's really, really triggering you, it's because it's just so far from who and what you are. It's foreign. It's an irritant to you. Actually, for you guys, I want to pull some more of these, because your reading is very different than the other two. Yeah, look at that. Awakening. Consciousness. The spirit medium. Dark night purge. Your beliefs. False prophet. Okay, so some of you, there is this big awakening that's going to happen in this life journey where you are just as 3D as everybody else, but then there just comes this time where you have this profound awakening and you go through that dark night purge and you have this remembering of who and what you are. And at times you may feel like you don't belong here on this earth because of just how funky and heavy and dense the vibration is. And it's not that you don't belong here. It's that your consciousness is just a much higher vibration than what is in existence on the earth plane at this time. You also help awaken others' consciousness through that imprint, the spirit medium. Every single one of you is spiritually gifted to connect to, past loved ones, ancestors, angels, spirits. Every single one of you has that gift. Okay, guidance from higher level beings, receiving downloads, receiving channeled messages to share with others. And the only real struggle I see for you guys is your own belief system kind of locking you in. And this could just be the predominant belief system of the 3D realm. This could be a strong religion that you were brought up in. There's just some sort of programming that you've got to overcome to fully access everything about yourself being a starseed. It's hard because the programming of this realm is so tangible, right? It's only what you can see, touch, taste, smell. That's the only thing that's real. And what's incredible is the physicality is the illusion, right? So there is a bit of a struggle for some of you making that jump from the predominant programming of this realm and allowing the internal programming to take over and operating from that space. Okay, so we have past life with intuition and philosopher. So you've been at this for multiple lifetimes. This is not your first lifetime coming in as an emissary of higher divine intelligence. Okay, and so what you're bringing with you into this life journey is that higher intelligence to help others come into their intuition. So these are some of the energies that you are working against or that are working for you in that that goal. Needing to be right, appearing aloof, assuming others know your thoughts, presuming you know without listening, disregarding others' views and opinions, recklessness and rushing decisions, prejudging situations and avoiding facts, and taking a serious approach to life. So these are a lot of the energies that you are trying to counteract, you know, helping people to realize there's multiple truths. It just depends on the perception. Okay. Not everybody is deeply intuitive, and you know, not everybody thinks the same, but a lot of people don't get that. They think the way they think is the way everybody should think, right? And that is the next line, presuming you know without listening. You know, that's something else you're up against, is just that ego, a big stronghold of ego within people, which makes them disregard other people's views and opinions, right? So part of what you're doing is helping lead people more into their intuition, their own soul wisdom. All right, soul path with self-worth. And this is around the second house in the zodiac. And I feel this is an energy that you might struggle with within yourself. Which I feel is more, you know, because with self-worth and values, I feel like this realm at times, it's just very hard and dense for you to deal with. It's very materialistic. It's very selfish. It's very ego-driven, which is the total opposite of what's written in your soul. So something you may struggle with is your own self-worth and where do I fit in this world? Okay, soul teaching with communication. Inquiring teacher. This is something that you're helping lead others into. Value of communication. Importance of spoken and written word. Look, listen, and share thoughts. Pass on and circulate information. Stimulate mental growth in others. Expand growth through experience. Investigate new opportunities. So this is part of your spiritual work, your spiritual mission, that you help lead others into their intuition, as well as, you know, communicating and truly understanding their soul. And now we have another soul path with spirituality, and it's 33 mastery. So this is about you. This is the path that you're walking. This life journey is the soul path of 33, spirituality and mastery. Spiritual uplifting of humanity, sincere devotion, worldly kinship and self-sacrifice, seeker of wisdom and mastery. And what you're against is the dogma, meddlesome and dominating energy, outspoken and egotistical people, superior and self-righteous people. All right, so you are, you know, walking a soul path of 33. And that's not to be confused with, you know, the teachings of numerology. This is something different. This is spiritual, you know, and what do they say in Freemasonry? The highest degree is 33, right? So this is talking about your soul and just how evolved you truly are. You come from another realm. You're here to teach spirituality, mastery, lead people into their intuition and how to understand themselves and better communicate with others. So let's pull some more cards. Eighth house needed changes. Eighth house is a very intense energy, but you make people aware of the changes they need to make within themselves. And this isn't about, you know, being good and wholesome and virtuous. This is about being connected to the core of who you are. And from that space, it's not about right or wrong. You're just going to flow in higher vibrations of energy. And you're really helping people with that. Make them see the changes that are needed, not just within themselves, but changes in the world at large. Many of you could be activists, okay? Really standing firm and strong and true about something. South Node, unresolved karma. See, a big problem of today is people are so disconnected from their spirit, from their soul, that they cannot connect the dots between their thoughts, their emotions, their actions, their words, and their deeds to what is, playing out in their life. And this is why you trigger people, is because you see that. You see the distortion, the dysfunction in people, in processes, in the way things are. So part of what you do is really helping people discover and explore their shadow energy, which must be faced. Right, what do we have next? Virgo, I nurture you. You're a very loving, giving, warm, wise energy as well. Strong, strong attention to detail. Grand Earth Trine, desired outcome. You are very instrumental in the bigger plan of things, in the larger scheme of things universally. Most people can't think in those terms. They can't see outside of their own wants, needs, and desires. But you can, and you do. And so you've got to kind of look at things in the perspective of, if you were teaching like a kindergarten class, and one of the students was like, Mr. or Miss Teacher, I don't like you. It's not going to make you cry or hurt your feelings, because you understand the different levels in consciousness, and you understand, oh, I'm teaching you. If one of them punched you in your knee, you wouldn't take it as offensively as if a grown adult just punched you because they were angry, right? And so that's kind of how you need to look at humanity overall, as young and growing, and you are a person that is here to help nurture that process and not take things so personally, just the way that people are, even people that are close to you. Don't personalize it and think that certain things are happening or you're being treated certain ways as a reflection of your worth and your value and who you are. It's rather, you've got to recognize the level of consciousness within each individual that you're dealing with. Okay? And so where your level of consciousness is, like your soul, it's like you are the teacher, and the majority of the people on the earth plane are like kindergartners. Okay? And this is at the soul level. And you're here to teach, to nurture, to grow, to balance out, to hold the light. And it's not always an easy thing to do. I know that for sure. All right, let's pull some more cards. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Okay. So because of where you are energetically, consciously, at the soul, when you screw up, it really gets to you. Don't beat yourself up. Everybody makes mistakes, right? And you are forever awakening throughout this life. And at different points, you're going to understand things so much more deeply and spiritually. And it's not to say you're not growing, but whereas certain challenges that another soul would go through, I would see that as the catalyst, the activation for great growth spiritually. The different challenges and struggles that you face are more about to activate and awaken you into that deeper knowing that you already have. Okay? So never regret anything that you've done or said, because, nobody is perfect. Not even a beautiful starseed emissary. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. It's okay. It truly is. Have no regrets. change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. See, you are an energy that facilitates and brings great change to this earth plane. Love, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. There is a light code of unconditional love within you. All right, and when you love and you care, it runs really, really deep for you. And that's beautiful. It's a gift. Don't wish it away. Don't ever regret, who you've loved. Because there was great purpose in that. Like I said, you changed the timeline with just who you are. And you don't see it, you don't realize it, but you do. You're more important than you realize. And it's like, well, if I'm all this, then, why isn't my life so much different than everybody else? It is. You just don't realize it. The difference is in your perception. And that's everything. I feel like I need to give these a good shuffle for you guys. Oh, first card out. Yes. You guys are tearing down some old dogma, okay? This right here represents control. And the Piscean age was darkness, control, oppression. The Aquarian age, which we are now into, which is what you are a part of bringing online fully, is the freedom of the mind, of not being controlled by the dogma of man. Okay? You are a part of that. There are others on this earth plane that will grow and build with you, okay? Just know that you are not alone, and this life journey is building on past life work that you've done. You've been at this. You've been an emissary for multiple lifetimes now, ushering, helping close out the Piscean age and bringing the Aquarian age online. Anything that you go through, you experience, you encounter, you will always heal from eventually, okay? And I know that doesn't seem like much when things are heavy and hard, but this is right here a message of the karma doesn't mean the same thing for you guys as it does for everybody else, okay? You are here on assignment. Your purpose is so different than the majority of other people walking around. You've got to know that. You've got to understand that. Yes. And you will fully awaken throughout this life journey. By the time you transition, there is so much you're going to know and understand. And it's always been there within you. It's just at different points based on the energy and the work of other starseeds and lightworkers. What can come online inside of you based on, the energy that's at play around you. There will be a romantic partnership for you or a very good friend, okay? There's a partner for you. And it's either comes through romance or through a great friendship. It's very spiritually based. And this person, I feel, is also an emissary, and you guys are going to relate and understand each other. It's meant to be a great support system for you. And then look at this. You've got the Magician. You are a master manifester. And again, at different points in this life, that deeper understanding and knowing will activate and come online. But this life is more about a remembering and an awakening rather than learning new stuff. You are the emissary, you are the teacher, you are the guide, you are the facilitator of change. You have this soul path of 33 that you are walking, this life journey. And this life, and see, here's the Three of Pentacles. This life is connected to past life journeys on the earth plane, even though your consciousness comes from a higher realm. You are part of like the ground crew. You are here on assignment. And so if at times you feel like you don't fit in, it's because it's not that you don't fit in. It's just, again, kindergartners and then the teacher. You are very, very wise. And you're here to tear down the paradigm of the old, the false, the oppression, the darkness. Aquarius is the age of enlightenment, of wisdom, of technology. And understanding that we are so much more than just a physical being. And you are absolutely instrumental in that process. And again, certain things you encounter is almost as though you're trying to help others clear their karma. All right. I will leave your messages there. I truly hope that this has helped you and has guided you. And I am sending you lots of love and light. Take care.